Now Hoysala Empire. A family or clan named Hoysala had attained considerable power in the present-day Karnataka during the 12th and 13th century. This empire ruled almost all the present-day Karnataka between the 11th to the mid of 14th century. Their capital was Belur, B-E-L-U-R, which was later shifted to Halebidu, H-A-L-E-B-I-D-U. This period was a very important era for the development of the art, religion and architecture in the southern area of India. The Hoysala Empire contributed in the growth of both the Kannada and Sanskrit literature. Now, political summary of Hoysalas. The earliest known king of this empire is Nripakama II, who lived around 1026 to 1047 AD. He was probably a feudatory of the Western Gang dynasty, G-A-N-G, Western Gang dynasty, and is known to have indulged in futile wars against the Cholas. However, another early Hoysala ruler, Vinayaditya, was a feudatory of Chalukyas of Kalyani. Vinayaditya was having family ties with Western Chalukya king Someshwara I. His son Erayanaga, A-E-R-E-Y-A-N-A-G-A, tried to establish himself as an independent monarch but was not successful. He was succeeded by Veer Balala I, who was also an unimportant ruler. The first notable great Hoysala king was Vishnuvardhan, who was also known by the name of Bitiga, B-I-T-T-I-G-A. Vishnuvardhan. The period assigned to the reign of Vishnuvardhan or Bitiga is 1108 AD to 1152 AD. He is best known for taking steps to consolidate the Hoysala Empire. He established his capital at Dorsamudra, which is modern Halebidu in Karnataka. Vishnuvardhan was younger brother of Veer Balala I. He assumed the title of Talaka the Gonda and Veer Ganga, T-A-L-A-K-A-D-A-G-O-N-D-A, Talaka the Gonda and Veera Ganga, V-E-E-R-A Veera, G-A-N-G-A Ganga. He built Nirti Narayan temple at Talakad and Chena Kasawa temple at Belur. He was originally a Jain, and Jain religion enjoyed high favor under his minister Gangaraja's protection. He carried out numerous conquests and defeated the mighty kings of Chola, Pandya and Chera kingdoms. It is said that under the influence of the Ramanujacharya, Vishnuvardhan converted to Hinduism and became a Vaishnavite. This is evident by a number of Vishnu temples built during his reign. He died in 1152 AD and his son Narasimha I ascended the throne. His rule was for around 44 years. Narasimha I killed the Western Chalukyan ruler Tailapa III. He was succeeded by Veer Balala II. Veer Balala II from 1173 AD to 1220 AD was another greatest monarch of the Hoysala Empire. He put the Chalukyas of Kalyani to an end by defeating Someshwara IV. After this defeat, Someshwara IV shifted his capital to Banavasi, B-A-N-A-V-A-S-I, and the Kalyani passed to the hands of the Yadavas of Devagiri. With Cholas, he had family relationships. The successors of Veer Balala II were mostly unimportant rulers. The last great king was Veer Balala III. Veer Balala III was the last great ruler of the Hoysala Empire. His reign was from 1291 AD till 1343 AD. In 1310, the commanders of Sultan Alauddin Khilji had invaded the Deccan, devastating most of the countries. By 1318, Devagiri was occupied by Sultan of Delhi, and by 1336, almost all of the Hindu kingdom of the south except the Hoysala Empire were annexed to the Delhi Sultanate. A Muslim Madurai Sultanate was also formed in those years. Veer Balala III campaigned against the Muslims. He made Tiruvannamalai as his new capital and founded another capital at the banks of river Tungabhadra at Hosapattana, Hosapattana, where his able commanders Harihara, Harihara, and Bukaraya, Bukkaraya, popularly known as Hakka and Bukka, founded the Vijayanagara Empire in 1336. Veer Balala III was killed in one of the battles against the Delhi Sultan in 1343. He was succeeded by Harihara Raya I, who founded the Sangama dynasty of the Vijayanagara Empire. The following Now the legacies of the Hoysalas. By the 13th century, the power of the Cholas had declined. Now the contribution of the Hoysalas to the art and architecture. By the 13th century, the power of the Cholas had declined. This was the time for a great and sophisticated culture when marvelous temples were built in Karnataka and parts of Tamil Nadu. Hoysala influence was at its zenith during the 13th century, and the artists of this empire freely borrowed from the Chalukya and Chola traditions and created a style unique in many ways. Hoysala history is clear from the time of King Vishnuvardhan, who ruled from AD 1108 to 1142. Inscriptions show that the king, his wife, and his ministers were generous patrons of temples. Chena Keswara temple at Belur. Vishnuvardhan, who defeated the imperial Cholas in 1116, in the memory of establishment of his dynasty and this victory, built a temple for Kesava or Chena Kesava at Belur and named it the Vijayanarayana temple. The temple is a classical example of the ornate style of temple art under the Hoysalas. They inherited a rich tradition of temple building from the Chalukyas and the Cholas. Now, Hoysaleshwar Temple, Halebid. Hoysaleshwar Temple was built between AD 1121 and AD 1160 in the area of Halebid, known then as Dor Samudra, which was the capital of the Hoysalas. It was also built during the reign of Vishnuvardhan. The temple is Duikuta, means two shrines which are called Hoysaleswara and Santaleswara. Shantala was the queen of Vishnuvardhan. The temple is best known for sculptures on the outer walls. Chena Keswa Temple and Chena Keswa Temple in Somnathpura. Chena Keswa Temple, Somnathpura, was built by Som, a commander of Narsimha III. It is also one of the finest structures of the Hoysala architecture. Important features of the Hoysala temples. The Hoysala built around 1500 temples at 958 centers between 1000 AD and 1346 AD. The finest temples were commissioned during the times of Vishnuvardhan. He was a subordinate to the Western Chalukyas, and probably after declaring independence wanted to excel in this art also. This is evident from one of his inscription which says built it from the wealth which he amassed from the sword. This was written on his inscription. The Hoysala temple architecture was heavily influenced by the western Chalukyas, Cholas as well as Pallavas, though there was a departure from the Chalukyan style. This is evident from the fact that in the beginning the temples were not over decorated, but the later temples have this feature in almost all of its totality. Now the Yadavas of Devagiri. The Yadavas of Devagiri are the descendants of the feudatory nobles of the Western Chalukyan Empire. The most important territory which they had under them was between Devagiri, modern Daulatabad, and Nasik, and was known as Sevana or Suena, Seuna or Sevana. Though they had influence in modern Maharashtra, North Karnataka, and parts of southern Madhya Pradesh. The most important territory which was under them was between Devagiri and Nasik, which was known as Sevana or Suena. They are known as founders of Marathi culture, the Yadavas of Devagiri. The name Seuna, Seuna, has been used for them in the Hoysala and Kakatiya inscriptions, and seems to be probably derived from the name of Seuna Chandra, second ruler of this dynasty. This dynasty was founded by Dridhaprahara, Dridhaprahara. His son Seuna Chandra, Seunachandra, ruled an area of present Khandesh, which was known as Seunadesa, Seundesa. Now, Bhilama, Bhillama, reigned from 1173 AD to 1191 AD. The first of Yadavas in this line to achieve importance was Bhilama or Bhilama V, who established the sovereign Seuna kingdom, Seuna, and founded Devagiri in 1187 AD. His territory was bordered by Parmaras in north, Kakatiyas in east, Hoysalas in south, and Solankis in the west. The mighty Devagiri fort, which was 184 meters, was captured by Alauddin Khilji in 1294 and was plundered. 184 kilometers in length, was plundered by Malik Kafur again in 1307, 1310 and 1318. Bhilaba was killed in a battle with the Hoysala chief in 1191 AD. The second great ruler of this dynasty was Singhana II, Singhana II. Singhana II, from 1200 AD to 1246 AD, was the most important ruler of Yadavas dynasty. He carried out several conquests and expanded the kingdom from the banks of Narmada to Tungabhadra. He invaded Gujarat and other countries and made the Yadavas kingdom matching in extent the realms of the Chalukyas and the Rashtrakutas. Singhana II was a great patron of fine arts and literature. Sarangadev, the great author of Sangita Ratnakar, was an accountant in the court of Singhana II. His work Sangeet Ratnakara is considered to be one of the most important works on Hindustani as well as classical music. Raja Ramachandra. The Yadavas of Devagiri, akin to the Hoysalas, were destroyed by the Muslim invaders. Raja Ramachandra was the last sovereign Hindu ruler of Deccan. When Alauddin Khilji, Sultan of Delhi, crossed the Narmada river, the northern frontier of Yadavas in 1294, the Yadav ruler Raja Ramachandra, 1291 to 1309 AD, was obliged to surrender and was ransomed his life by a large treasure that included 600 mounds of pearls, 2 mounds of diamonds, rubies, emeralds and sapphires. One mound was of around 40 kilograms. The mound was officially pegged at 37.32 kilograms in British India, independent India. The Sultan's incursions were again repeated by Malik Kafur in 1309, and Ramchandra again submitted to the invader. After his death, his son-in-law Harpal revolted against the Muslim Sultan in 1318 and was defeated, then flayed, skinned alive and was decapitated. This was the miserable end of the Yadavas of Devagiri. Ramchandra, like the other Yadava rulers, was a patron of art and literature. In his court, the celebrated Sanskrit author Hemadri or Hemad Pant served as the chief minister. Chatur Varg Chintamani was his encyclopedic Sanskrit work. Chatur Varg Chintamani was the encyclopedic Sanskrit work of Hemadri. Hemad Pant introduced, Hemadri and Hemant Pant was the same person. So Hemad Pant Hemadri introduced Modi script for writing in Marathi from Ceylon and has left some valuable historical sketch of the Yadava dynasty. Now Hoysala Empire.